channel. So in today's video I want to talk about the nature of God, and hopefully by the end of the video you would come to recognize and have more confidence in self, because the self of man is the self of God. In order for us to come to understand the nature of God, we must first investigate where God comes from. Just as we came from a place we were unconscious, and then we became conscious. That is how God was unconscious to us, and then all of a sudden we had the idea of God. So where did God come from? Okay, so I have my theories. There is what we call the divine, and then there's what we call God. Divinity, the divine nature, and the God nature, the Almighty God. So the divine is the best way to describe the divine is that it is empty of itself. That's what makes it divine, because how can something be empty of itself? But yet here we are having the experience of the divine being empty of itself. And then God is an extension of that divine, because the divine is empty of itself. There is an extension that comes about as a result of this knowing of nothingness. And so God is like the extension of a man's penis. That's how God is. In the divine there is a light. The divine is empty of itself, but within that emptiness there exists a light, an internal light. The reason I know this is because I have a form that I can use to sort of look back at the divine, to see what is happening. Everyone who has a form has the opportunity to look back at the divine, to see that light. But without the form, there is no knowing that light which is within. So what happens is that without that form, there is just the knowing of nothingness. All there is and all that is known is just nothingness. And then inside this nothingness, there was an experience of movement. This experience of movement, to bring it down to our symbolic world, is like a man who is just sitting down, he's not thinking of anything, just minding his own business. And then he sees an attractive lady pass by. According to his own perception, he sees the attractive lady pass by, and just by that movement of she walking by or just existing, the man begins to have this, there's movement within his own body. So that is what is happening in the realm of the divine. In the divine, there was just the knowing of nothingness, and then there's this movement that occurs. And in the divine, trying to investigate that movement, there is an extension, and that extension is the Almighty God. That is the thing that contains all things. Now, inside the thing that contains all things, there exists a dance between this knowing of nothingness and this experiencing of movement. And the knowing of the nothingness is what calls itself I am, but it can only call itself I am inside the form of the extension. So the extension is a woman because the extension contains both the masculine energy and the feminine energy, while the divine is a man because it is neither masculine or feminine. It has nothing, and so that nothingness is what we describe as man symbolically, and the woman has both the masculine energy and the feminine energy within herself. She has it all, and the Almighty God is sort of like a wife to the divine, and this Almighty God has a womb where these two energy dance and create form, and they sort of move in a spiral, movement, because once in a while the masculine energy and the feminine energy have to balance themselves, because the reason why they are moving is to seek balance. So they seek balance at that cross sign where the masculine energy transforms itself into the feminine energy, and when the feminine energy transforms itself into the masculine energy. And so when that happens, then there's balance, and then the play goes on. So when we talk about becoming the divine masculine and becoming divine feminine, especially in what is happening in the world today, where people don't have even more, there are more genders now, and these more genders arise as a result of the noise of the environment, the outside noise. But you don't need to take my word for it. It is better to find out who you truly are by going within. You see, there are two things involved in this. There is the matrix that is looking to create all manner of varieties, and that is very okay. And then there is the divine, who has no variety at all. It's just empty. Now your real identity is the divine. It's not what the matrix has to offer. This form, in this collective, this form is the appearance of a man. This is how the masculine energy appears in this collective. In another reality or another collective, this is not going to be the form of the masculine energy. It will be complete. It will be something completely different. But the masculine energy and the feminine energy, the two light source that creates life, will remain the same. They will remain the same because they did not have a beginning, and they are not going to have an end. So when you go within to find out who you truly are, you stay in the stillness, and then the nature of God would naturally, intelligently order your step as regards who you are. If you want to be more feminine, if you want to be more masculine, depending on what you want to experience, you don't need to look for too much teachers. You don't need to have a lot of rules and regulations in your head on what to do and what not to do. All you need is the stillness within. That stillness is where the Almighty God rests. When you rest with that Almighty God, from that stillness, there's going to be an intelligent knowing of what to do. There's going to be an intelligent action, and from there you will be able to experience yourself and be happy, because all what everybody is seeking for is happiness. But when you find happiness within you,